Saraya regrets her AEW debut promo. WWE got the reaction they wanted from Raw this past week, and AEW is considering running multi-day events. Stay tuned for the news. Right, kicking off news 2 today. We've got some news on Saraya, potato. She's been speaking on Busted Open Radio, and she says she regrets a little aspect of her AEW debut promo. She obviously made her triumphant debut and return to the ring in AEW, and she did cut a promo that got a little bit of a negative reaction, specifically in one major aspect. She said, the one thing I do wish I didn't say, I got asked to say a certain sentence, the sentence where I was like, finally, a boss that listens to me. I wish I didn't take that low-hanging fruit, she says. I've always spoken highly of WWE because they helped me a lot. I love AEW and there is no reason to take that low-hanging fruit, and I feel I caused a lot of tribalism and negative reaction. There are some things you wish you didn't say, and that's one of them. I'm not surprised she maybe regrets that line.
No, me neither. As you were saying, I think that line received a lot of criticism online. Definitely on Twitter, people talking about it, especially when it comes sort of from, Saraya has this career-ending injury. It was what we thought was a career-ending injury at the time. And, she was still very much in the mix of WWE and perhaps more of the backstage stuff. We saw her on TV as like an authority figure and everything as well. They were definitely trying to keep her within the company and at least give her things to do as well. And that seems like a nice thing for a company to do when something like this has happened, for sure. So then when she said that on AEW, I think a lot of people saw that as a bit of a slap in the face.
Just a little
WWE.
bit. I remember seeing the reaction on Twitter, and it was people calling out that exact thing where they're like, well, WWE gave you all this. They gave you these opportunities. They made sure that you were safe. They prioritized your health. So it's nice to see that she maybe acknowledges the fact that it wasn't really an accurate thing to say. The thing that's interesting though is she specifically says, I got asked to say a certain sentence, and then goes on to say that, what sentence that is. And that's quite out of left field for me, in the fact that AEW is scripting her promo there a little bit and going, can you say this?
Yeah, as she says here, it does feel like a low-hanging fruit for sure. I would have hoped that perhaps like she would have enough sway to be like, oh, I don't actually want to say this. Perhaps it was more of a thing of she's just joined this new company and she doesn't want to sort of say no to these opportunities and things that she's been given straight off the bat, of course. But at the same time, I would have thought she might have been like, I'd rather not do that one.
I'd rather, we'll sit that one out. But it certainly did get, as she said, a lot of tribalism and negative reaction, and going from one reaction to another. Speaking of negative reactions, this week Raw was fun, wasn't it, Andrew?
It was a time. Fraser, it was a time.
Well, outside of the decision to have Roman Reigns defeat Cody Rhodes in the main event at WrestleMania, this weekend has been kind of heavily praised, aside from Monday. WWE didn't maintain the goodwill for long, as I said there. The company followed up with potentially one of the worst episodes of Monday Night Raw ever. In fact, it was so bad, I gave it an F.
You gave it an F?
I gave it an F on graded.
Wow.
The show reportedly underwent last-minute rewrites due to the interference from Vince McMahon, who re-established himself as head of WWE Creative, and very little happened on the show beyond the main event angle, which saw, Brock Lesnar, what looked like he was going to team with Cody Rhodes, and then he attacked Cody Rhodes and basically just destroyed Cody Rhodes all over the ringside area. The Raw after WrestleMania 39 has generated plenty of discussion online, and most of it is negative, as I've said, but there is this is supposedly something that WWE only sees as a positive. According to Dave Meltzer, Wrestling Observer, who noted this exact reaction to the one they've been looking for. What did he say on Twitter, Andrew?
He said, I promise you the fact that there has been so much discussion they will only see as a positive. If there was no discussion, they'd be shaking their heads thinking what went wrong. If it was a misfire, history will tell us, but right now the reaction is what they wanted. It's always sort of like the conversation of when they say like any sort of reaction is a good reaction because at least you are talking about the product. whether it remains to be seen. I mean, again, there has been a lot of speculation, a lot of talk, especially around the WWE sale and everything over this last week. A lot of discussion heading into SmackDown this week too. It feels like SmackDown could be the real telling of whether Vince McMahon
he's
is
staying about.
Indeed back in charge of everything, of course, yeah. But I mean, it definitely got us talking about it, that's for sure.
I mean, absolutely. It's got the wrestling world talking about it. I think everyone sort of acknowledged that this was one of the poorer episodes of Raw in quite a long time. But as you say, it has people talking about it. People are discussing Raw. It's in the headlines. It was trending on Twitter, #worst Raw.
Yeah.
Like, WWE will just see that as, well, it doesn't matter if they're not liking it. We've got them tuning in. People are engaging. It gets our product out there more. But it does look like a lot of things on the show were planned very last minute or just sort of on a whim, and they were kind of thrown together. One other thing that was thrown together happened at WrestleMania 39. Do you want to tell me a little bit about it, Andrew?
That was fantastic. That was a nice segue there, Fraser. So after months of build, Rey Mysterio finally agreed to absolutely batter his son Dominic in a match at WrestleMania 39. The match saw Dominic confront his mother Angie and sister as well, while Rey was down at one point during the action. And the ex-con man, ex-condom showed his disdain for his family as he swilled a Leia with her own drink straight in the face. Reflected on that match during an appearance on the Ringer wrestling show, Dominic revealed that the spot was actually unplanned all along. Dominic went on to say, Damien must have said something, and I said, it was a big night for me. I told my mum to shut up. I'm retiring after that. Even at WrestleMania, I didn't know I was going to throw the drink at my sister. I walked down and saw her holding a cup and thought, this dumbass is holding a cup. I grabbed it, was going to drink it, and saw there was a little bit of water and said, that's just a little bit. So I figured I would throw it on her. We don't know what happens if it was vodka or gin
tequila or
tequila. It could have been anything. That was good. And I threw it with some force. She didn't expect it at all. It's a lot of fun. Hopefully I get to do some more stuff where I get to torture them. It's a blast. I had to put up with a lot of crap growing up, so it's fun to return the favour.
He is
obviously in character, perhaps, who knows?
Ex-condom. Yeah, exactly, ex-condom. He's on fire at the moment. I think Dom has really come into his own and become a separate character to just Rey Mysterio's son. And something like that where he is on the biggest stage possible, and he's gone, I could just throw a drink on them. That'll get heat. That he knows, and it's just, he's getting a lot smarter. He's coming across as a really, really fun character to watch, and I cannot wait to see where he goes from here. Hopefully, as he said, more drinks and more torture of his family.
Sounds so weird and bad, doesn't it?
It does sound bad that he wants to torture his family, but hey, look, if it keeps him going on the right path, beat up his dad. Go on. Just do it at Backlash. Beat your dad up. But we're going to end on a little bit of news about AEW. Now, obviously, we had the news this morning. AEW is running Wembley Stadium in London.
Oh my goodness. What? I know, big announcement.
It's going to be their biggest show, August 27th. Ahead of the monumental announcement, Tony Khan admitted that the company could also one day run multi-day events similar to what WWE and New Japan have been doing. He said to Sports Illustrated, we could do one event spanning a weekend, and we could also do multiple events across a week, said Khan. It's something we're considering, especially as we keep entering so many new debut markets. We're looking forward to expanding and holding more huge events. Quite a PR related answer, very PR answer from Tony there. And it's not a surprise that when you look at WWE's success with WrestleMania and you look at New Japan's success with Wrestle Kingdom, that you go, well, why wouldn't we do it over a weekend? We can sell out two shows.
Yeah, of course. It makes a lot of sense to capitalize on like all the buzz surrounding the big event itself, and then to have these other shows around there too. I think it easily just, gets people putting their hands in their pockets and paying out to go and see this. Like Clash at the Castle and everything as well was WWE had events like surrounding that weekend as well.
One Dead Man show.
Yeah, and it was absolutely cram packed in Wales. It was unbelievable. I've never seen that amount of people before in my life. However, I don't go outside very often.
Well, you went out for Clash, and that's what matters.
That's what matters the most.
Tony's in quite a good position with this as well, because he's got Ring of Honor. So you could do a weekend-long event of wrestling where it's headlined by AEW, but you've also got your Ring of Honor shows that week, and you could have a whole weekend where it feels a bit more fresh because it's not just, I don't know, like Double or Nothing night 1, Double or Nothing night 2. You've got Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor and Double or Nothing, and then it's a whole weekend of wrestling. I guess WWE is a similar position. You could do NXT.
Yeah.
But I guess it's
I mean, maybe more when if NXT Europe gets off the ground, maybe we will see more of that in the other pay-per-views that do take place in the UK. Who knows?
In
a
other
buffet
markets.
of wrestling.
Oh, a buffet of wrestling. Wrestling's great at the moment, apart from Raw this past week. I'm excited for the AEW show, and you should be too. Is there anything you want to plug, Andrew? We've got a podcast coming out. Tonight.
Tonight. Also some spicy, lovely content going up on Sunday, I believe, as well, that you should look forward to. I don't want to give anything away quite yet, but if you enjoyed the Triple Jump and Cultaholic joint stream for WWE 2K23 yesterday, you will indeed enjoy this bit of content too.
But that's it. We might be back for another one. I don't know. Well, there might be wrestling news. We'll have to see. But in the meantime, go and watch all the other content, and we will see you later on.